Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shenanigans. How are you guys doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. Welcome back, Neal.
Thank you. How are you doing, Brian?
Doing all right.
Good. So why don't we hop into our game here today, and we'll see who we're playing and what we're playing when we get into the tavern. So here is Shenanigans. Let's bring the map up for everybody. We do not have a Nycrofer and a Shag, though. We have a Melchior?
It's biblical name. Come on. Melchior.
I haven't studied my Bible well enough, apparently.
Neither did I, but you know.
Okay. So we've got the two of you in Shenanigans on a lovely Saturday morning. What is going on between the two of you guys while we figure out how many people are in the tavern? Ooh, it is at capacity, 100% full.
Oh, I am playing the Deaf Cleric, Melchior, a new character. They're bald with a tattoo of Rossi on their forehead. And black robes. But chainmail, statistically.
I'd probably be wanted to be discussing with you the proper times to enact like the death penalty on evildoers. Like what's the philosophical
Well,
time where you do that?
death comes to us all. Of course, the law decides a life may end early, for justice, of course, but it's just not Verassi who's dealing that. It's, well, you, right? Astaire. Like, while Verassi may decide it is someone's time to die or someone's time to die on their own, a death penalty is, if someone's, of course, justly convicted, they're... Well... Sorry, that was an echo there.
Yeah, I'm hearing a musical echo somewhere.
Yeah, that was me. I've got rid of it. Sorry. Sorry. That was my fault. Yeah.
Lovely.
It's stopped now. Sorry, interrupted there. But essentially, executing someone's cutting their life short, but that's pretty much the realm of justice. If someone has their life cut short, it's their own fault. So, yeah.
But are actions done through the gods themselves? Do we really have, you know, if they get a punishment, is that not Verassi himself also punishing it through our actions? I don't know.
Maybe a paladin would be able to decide that sort of thing, but as clerics, we must interpret the god's will rather than say our word is the god's word.
Okay.
Because, I mean, as you, one who can speak with the gods directly, is different, such as I, a cleric, who I must interpret it. I may pray for my spells, but it does not mean I speak for the gods.
Okay. But isn't everything all caused by the gods created the world, and the world is full of particles that interact with each other in certain ways? Does that mean that it caused it? And isn't everything caused by the first creator?
Maybe. It depends if you believe what Malchus is, and everything is chaos, and everything has free will. Or you have Astaire with order, and everything has its place, and everything has control. But with the demon invasion, if it's occurred in this timeline by now, shows us that outside influences can infest. Like, if this was a closed system, everything's predictable. But now that Eridon's overrun with demons, that Koibu's in a civil war deciding its fate, humans decide the fate of humans. But the gods can intervene and push scales one way or the other.
So gods do roll dice.
Oh, yes. They do. Especially Malchus.
It's at this point that a small tugging comes at both of your elbows, and you look down to notice there's a little halfling looking up at you with big, sad eyes, with, you know, welling up with tears and kind of tugging on your elbows, trying to get your attention. Excuse me?
Oh, do you wish to die, young one?
The halfling slinks into the crowd and disappears.
Oh, Well, I just think people who usually bother me are asking for assisted death. I mean,
Yeah. Continue.
yeah. Sorry about that.
Guess not. It must not have been
That's
very
just for
important.
you, not me. Whoops. Sorry.
Or do you think it was important? I don't know.
Well, I mean, if they're bothering a cleric and a paladin, it usually is important. I just assumed, though, since they bothered me, that they wanted death, but they might want life.
It didn't bother me as well. Maybe he was interested in our conversation here about because what else would you need a cleric of a stare and Barassi for other than to enact, I guess, the death penalty on somebody? That's like the
Of course.
perfect combination. I'm gonna go find him.
Yeah, okay. I'll let you lead it, so I might have skipped.
Sure. You push your way through the crowd and find the little halfling talking to a group of 6 people, 3 dwarven warriors, a half-elven cleric, a gnomish spellcaster of some sorts, but probably not a very effective one. You know, he's a gnome and everything. And then 2 humans that are probably like mixed class or maybe like a ranger or something, sort of in between, maybe a rogue, I don't know. And the halfling seems to be telling them a very sad story, and they're all listening intently. And you can see one of those humans in the background, like rubbing his hands together greedily, like, "Oh, I'm gonna get rich off of this one."
I want to eavesdrop, but like pretty obviously, I'm not very good at eavesdropping.
Give me a charisma check.
Let's see.
Crit.
All right.
Oh my. Yeah. Somehow you are good at eavesdropping, actually.
Okay.
Maybe you like actually drop something, like you spill your cup and you go down to pick it up, and as you're searching around, as the cup rolls sort of under the table, no one notices you, and you get right close to the table, honestly making some sort of mistake that happens to just cover your listening. And you can hear the sad tale of this halfling whose wedding was attacked by goblins, and his fiancée, bride-to-be, was stolen away along with his best man and his dad. And he needs some people to go after these goblins, but it's okay because his bride-to-be is a wealthy woman whose family will pay any reward. And these 6 people are making promises. We will find her. Don't worry, we've got a didgeridoo, the sorcerer over here. He can track anything through anywhere. They say, patting the gnome on the head, who's busy like examining a feather, not really paying attention to the conversation. And the human ranger comes over and is like, don't worry, if he can't track it, I can. I can see through the woods. I can see the slightest bend in a blade of grass and know who made it. And the dwarves step up, being like, and we can cut down as many goblins as might be seeing your bride-to-be. Don't worry, little man, we've got it all taken care of. And the halfling wipes away his tears and leads the adventuring party out the door with promises of vast riches.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry, Sir Walker.
Do you think they need some help? We could follow them.
Of course, that sounds like a grand idea, Sir Walker.
Okay. We could keep her distance. I'm not really very good at tracking.
I'm not good at tracking either.
They are.
Oh yeah, so if they're doing the tracking, that means we can easily follow them.
Yeah. That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
All right. So
Let's
you
follow
guys follow them as they step out of Berkshire. Let's change the music a little bit here. And they begin to head north along the road. Once you get to the edge of town, and they actually head out into the wilderness, or at least start going through the farms, and there's only like one path, you reach the point where it's going to be obvious that you are following behind them. Maybe not necessarily following them, but you're on that like stretch of road. It's like the 2-lane highway. You're going to be the only ones behind them, and they're going to be able to tell that you're following, maybe not following them, but at least headed in the same direction. So what sort of precautions, if any, do you wish to take in this place? Or are you just simply travelers heading in the same direction?
Travelers for now, but if they go off-road, we might have to reconsider.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, they don't go far. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we're probably pretty far back, so they can't really see what we really look like.
Yeah, I'm pretty obvious. I've got a big tattoo.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So you go maybe a mile or two down the road until you reach maybe one of the last farms here near Berkshire, and you can see that there's this big like wooden trellis set up with white flowers all over it, and just like tears and sobbing from the assorted halflings nearby whose wedding was so rudely interrupted. And the adventuring party led by the small halfling comes up, and they start questioning people at the farm. And you can sort of catch up to a point where you can look around the barn of the closer farm and kind of like peer over the fence to see the people, asking questions of the assorted halflings there.
Is there anyone suffering like death? Anyone need to be passed?
I can't make that judgment for you.
Okay,
I mean, there are some people who are heartbroken.
Well, no.
How upset does someone need to be before you have to ease their suffering?
Well, I only can do it on willing or sleeping people, so...
Well, there's no one begging for death loudly enough for you to hear it, if that helps.
Yeah, well, I won't intervene unless asked for.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So it takes maybe an hour or so of questioning the people there and asking about this, that, and the other thing. You can't really overhear any of the conversation before the ranger and the sorcerer, the wizard, the something, the gnome, we'll call it for now, decide to start looking for tracks of where these goblins might be. And after 5 minutes, they find some sort of trail that heads like northeast, or I guess east by northeast. And out right across the road and into the wilderness. And the adventuring party pats the halfling on the head. You can see the visual, the nonverbal language saying like, wait here, we'll take care of everything for you, as the adventuring party sets off into the woods.
Alright, so Walker, how do we handle this? I mean, you could just follow him, but then we go, hey, why are you following us? What's next?
We could offer help. We could, yeah.
But they'll say, oh, it's our money.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine. I'm volunteering my services for free to help this injustice.
That's true. Yeah, there could be some justice to enact for both of us on the evil parties here.
All right, let's rush up after the party and volunteer our services for free and see what goes from there.
Alrighty. So you're going to rush after them and volunteer your services for free?
Yeah.
Alrighty. It's not hard to find them.
Scaring that guy. I feel guilty. Like I said, oh, do you want to die? And he didn't want to die. And like, I don't want to say that to people who don't want to die. I feel guilty.
He thought you were threatening his life.
Yeah.
This is an apology. We got to make this up to him.
Yeah.
All right. You follow these people, which is not hard to do. The dwarves are leaving a swath of destruction through the woods that a blind troll could follow, right? There's like hack marks and branches that aren't even near the path where they're walking. There's things that are being like uprooted and kicked aside. Things are needlessly being stepped upon. Rocks are kicked away. It's an obvious path right into the wilderness. And I guess you guys both have movement rate 12.
To them to say, let us catch up and volunteer our services. Do they see if they accept it? How far ahead are they? I mean, like, can we catch up to them
very quickly? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We book it in here. How adventurers? We offering our services to assist for free.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Says the ranger.
I'm a cleric, he's a paladin. We feel that we need to remedy this situation and assist in this matter.
Really?
Yeah, there's some injustice afoot. Like, we can't let evildoers like this go around and kidnap people and hurt people like this.
The ranger nods her head and goes, give me just one moment to confer with my team. And does a group huddle with the other 5. And throughout the course of the huddle, heads like popping back and looking at you. And, there's whispering and murmuring going on. And eventually the ranger pops back out and goes, okay, can we clarify a few things here?
Of course.
Of course.
This might be a dangerous thing. You're willing to risk your lives?
Yes.
We risk our lives every day in service of good.
Excellent. And you're not asking for any monetary compensation or reward?
No.
Well then, this sounds like a great plan. Come on, follow us.
Yeah. What's your name, sir? Just the ranger.
My name is Temperance.
Ooh.
And what's yours?
I'm Melchior.
I'm Sir Walker.
Pleasant to meet you both. Well, here's what we know so far. Goblins have killed some halflings, stolen some halflings, and will probably be ransoming them or keeping them as slaves. So our plan has been to find the goblins, slaughter them all, and rescue the stolen ones.
I like the slaughter part. Death to those who have death coming to them.
Exactly. Good. So we're all in agreement with the plan? Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Are either of you very good at tracking?
Nope.
Lovely.
Tracks.
Tracks need to be made in order to be followed, as they say. Yes. So why don't you stick in the middle of the group here, and that'll work out well. Okay. And they will hike through the woods for a few more miles until the woods get sort of thick and sort of dense. And eventually, the trail sort of opens up into a very small meadow, maybe 30 feet across or so, with a little creek that bisects it. There are some butterflies floating about. The grasses there blow in the gentle breeze. But on the far side of the meadow is a cliff's edge that juts out at a nasty angle with all sorts of like bizarre protrusions that don't look very natural. At the base of this protrusion is a small entrance. And when I say small, it's like, maybe 2 feet high or something. Like you're going to have to get on your belly and crawl to get into this little entrance area. And the adventuring party.
Let me bless you all with them. I'll bless you with blessing. Anyone accept the blessing?
They all accept your blessing.
All right. Because I'm a death cleric, so I was wondering if anyone was too leery.
No.
I'm looking around for the guy who sneezed. Said you were gonna bless you.
Sorry, Sir Walker. I am blessing them, not blessing them because of sneezing.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. It's tilted.
All right. So the adventuring party's looking across the clearing. And they're looking back and forth between each other. And everyone huddles up. The 8 of you huddle up now. And the ranger, Temperance, says, okay, I think this is where we're supposed to be. That's clearly a goblin hidey hole, but it's kind of small. So, no offense, George and Harold, but perhaps the 2 of you should go in first. You're shorter of stature, and the 2 dwarves sort of grumble about always getting the dirty jobs. I always gotta get the job where I crawl on my hands and knees. It's a bunch of bullshit. You humans never have to crawl in. And Temperance is like, now. You know I would do it if I could. I have to reach things for you on the top shelf all the time, and I don't complain about it. So, this is your job. Go do it. And the two dwarves sort of grumble, and one of them makes a kicking motion at the gnome and says, "You better come with us. Who knows what sort of goblin witchcraft they might have." And so the two dwarves and the gnome make their way across the meadow, while the humans and half-elf and you all stand on the other side and watch. Do you have anything you'd like to say or contribute to the
Yeah, my
job?
oars only work within 14 feet, so that wouldn't be much help for them in there. While they're going in, I can chant Holy Might. Oh, they're not doing symbols, so it won't work. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any spare symbols, so I can't.
No.
No, I can't help.
All right.
I want to keep an eye out to make sure nobody sneaks up behind us. Nothing gets by me.
Excellent. You watch the other way. Good idea. Okay. The dwarves and gnome head towards the cave. The first dwarf gets there. He's got chainmail on, a hammer in one hand, a shield in the other, and he takes the shield off, lays it flat, and kind of shoves it before him, gets on his belly and starts crawling, putting his arms out and rolling forward on them, still with the warhammer in his hand. And after a few moments, he slips inside the cave. The next dwarf follows in after him, followed by the gnome. They go inside. It's quiet. You're about 30, maybe 40 or 50 feet from them, because the meadow's like 30 feet, but you're not at the very edge of the meadow. You're still within the cover of the trees. And you can't see into the cave because it's low and dark. And it's quiet. It's real quiet.
I don't think I could fit in there.
Maybe they have a spellcaster. Maybe I heard you can silence things as a spellcaster.
Yeah.
This could be a bad sign.
Yeah, I can't detect spell casting, so.
Can you detect spellcasting?
Nah, not this cleric, sorry. I was about to say it, but yeah, not this one.
Right. After about 15 minutes or so, there's a little bit of movement. Something wiggling near the front. Turns out it's the gnome's staff, and the gnome pulls himself out and bolts across the field, leaping across the creek in the middle of it, and hurrying over to your side, panting, out of breath, murmuring quickly. And you catch a few words, something like, "There's so many. They got Harold. Red's gone." You're catching these bits of phrase in between the gnome's relentless rhyming chatter. That's when Temperance pats the gnome on the head and says quietly, it's okay, take your time. The dwarves, are they captured? Are they killed?" And the gnome nods viciously. Yes.
Captured and killed?
Temperance looks back at the two of you and goes, "Well, maybe it's time for you guys to show your might."
All right.
Yeah, I want to go
have to draw them
investigate.
out, because we can't get in there, right?
I don't know, it's 2 feet tall. You could crawl.
Yeah, okay. I'll follow you in, Sir Walker.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right.
What if we smoked him out? We could set a fire. We could with the smoke.
But wouldn't it take
Is
a
that what
long
that
time
means?
to replace the whole air in a cave with smoke from the outside?
Well, we need a bigger fire.
Ah, right. Yes, Sir Walker. Yeah.
Temperance puts a hand on your shoulder and shakes her head and goes, "No, there's hostages in there. They might die too."
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Right.
All right. After you, Sir Walker.
All right, I'm going in. I
All
guess I
right.
would- yeah.
What are you wearing?
Chainmail.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Chainmail.
And?
I'm wearing.
And I've got a shield and a sword.
Okay. So you're gonna have to take off your shield to get in. It won't, it'll have to be off of your hand, and you'll have to push it before you or drag it behind you. Are you wearing a backpack? Because that's not gonna fit in either. You're gonna have to leave that behind.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so.
All right. So you're gonna drop the backpack, push the shield in front of you. What about light?
My shield is light.
Ah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Over there.
Permanent continual light thing? Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so you can push the shield in front of you and crawl into the space. And coming up behind you is Melchior. And what do you have on you?
Morning Star and a shield, so I'll put my shield on my back. And I'm wearing chainmail.
Okay.
Under the
All right.
robes, but yeah.
And you guys will push yourself in here. Sir Walker going first.
Yep.
All right, Sir Walker. I need you to make me the best perception check of your entire life.
Okay. I do not have very high perception.
You tried, and that's sort of what's important. Actually, success is what's important. You start crawling in. You reach a point where you kind of feel like there's room, but then there's like another, it's like the roof goes up and then it comes back down again. Mm-hmm. And so as you push through this area, you feel something stabbing you in the back. Ooh, but it does not penetrate your chainmail. There's clearly some sort of goblin hidey hole right above this spot, and a spear stabs down into you and pulls itself back up as you start to scurry away and comes down into your chainmail again and again, but not quite piercing you.
Why are we going backwards?
Can I try to grab the spear?
So the spear doesn't come down until I'm gonna make a doodle. We're gonna make a doodle. Right. This is a side view doodle. Here's the ground, and here's sort of the roof, and it kind of does one of these things.
Yeah.
Except this is more, it's actually like a shaft where there's a goblin to hide in, and you don't start getting stabbed until you're like this. Like your head's already in the next section, so it's already, it's like coming down into your back. It is a devious goblin trap that needed a successful perception check to detect. Otherwise, it gets triggered when you're in the most disadvantaged position possible. But the spear doesn't hit you, or it gets caught in your chainmail. And you press forward or press backwards.
I want to try to turn around and look up through that area.
Okay. Give me a dex check to maneuver yourself in this tight space so that you can be on your back looking upward. Perfect. Yeah. You can roll over and start scurrying that way, kicking your feet into Melchior's face as you move in that direction. And we're going to roll initiative between you and the goblin to see who goes first. The goblin is going to go at 9.
We need tokens,
yes.
That's me.
And Sir Walker.
Oh, wait, you've already done it over there. Sorry.
It's all good. Sir Walker goes at 14. Terrible. So as you roll over and start scooting down towards you, the goblin stabs again. An even worse blow. Somehow the goblin spear comes and catches in your chainmail on your side. It goes through the first chain link, and then the back end of the spear gets caught on another section of the chain link, and the goblin has got his spear stuck in your armor, and it takes him the whole round to pull it out. And you get to a point where you can sort of look up here. I mean, I think your shield is probably close enough to shed at least a little light. There's a small wooden platform the goblin is standing on, and it appears there's a passageway that goes deeper into the cave from where this platform is that the goblin's standing down on. And there's a look of frustration on the goblin's face as it's trying to pull the spear out of your body, but it's not working.
Are you using the special Morning Star rules where it can wrap around something, or not? Because in the books, you can use a Morning Star to try to disarm someone.
It gets a bonus to disarm attempts, right?
Yeah. It has a bonus to disarm, but I was wondering if your version does or not.
Sure. Yeah, we play with all the rules, even the ones that don't make sense because they conflict with each other.
Yeah.
All right. Can I try to get up and tackle the goblin?
It's a really tight spot. At best, you might be able to reach out one arm and grab the goblin. You definitely there's not standing room here.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead and make me an unarmed attack at maybe -2 for the awkwardness of the tunnel.
Okay. That is... One, I think.
Ooh, you reach up to snag the goblin, but he dances his little feet out of the way, sort of stomping on your fingers as you reach for him. He's just out of range. It's a tricksy goblin trap. Melchior, what are you gonna do in the meantime?
Yeah, I was going to try to get my morning star to try to disarm the spear that's poking down.
It's tight, pressed quarters. There's no way you could use a bludgeoning weapon in here.
Yeah, that's the only weapon I got, mate.
Yeah, not the tight quarters. It's not going to work. So we'll roll into the next round of initiative, and we're going to change up the music as well, I think, because this is now proper combat.
Yeah.
All right, give me an initiative roll here, Sir Walker. Actually, we don't need the tracker. We can just use this. 8 for you, 14 for the goblin. So you go first.
All right.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna try to stab him. Like,
With what?
Can't really swing. Like, can't really swing my sword, but can I like do like a?
Maybe if your sword was already drawn, but in the tight quarters, I don't know how you're going to pull your sword out and turn it around and get it facing forward.
Okay, wait. If you get close to me, I can pull your sword out for you. Because I'll pull it towards me, then you can take it from me.
His feet are facing you right now.
I thought you already turned around.
I think he rolled over onto his back so he could face the goblin. Right? Did I get that right?
Right. He rolled over. That means his head's still towards me. He's just on his back.
What? No.
He turned around the.
So he like log rolled, right?
Oh, log rolled. Okay, my mistake.
Yeah.
My mistake. Sorry. Yeah, I can't do it then.
I'm actually just gonna try to. Wait. So he's on a platform. Can I pull myself up onto that platform?
All right, let me bring the doodle back.
Yeah.
It was probably a bad idea to get rid of the doodle. Okay. All right, so actually, let me redesign this because it's actually more something like this.
Okay.
And then there's like a platform here that only comes out partway that the goblin can stand on. So there's like full goblin standing height here.
Yeah.
And then this is probably like a crawl space. And then this is the crawl space down here. Yeah. So if you are on your back, your head's got to be right around here-ish. Your legs are kicking down here or whatever. Yeah.
Move back a little. Yeah.
Oh, whoops. There we go.
All right. I'm actually just gonna keep on trying to crawl through it. So I'm gonna try to get out of.
Just gonna keep going.
Yep.
All right. You keep crawling. No problem. You move on before he can get to you. Melchior, what's your plan?
Oh, all right. So, if with a perception check, I can bypass it, or did you just say just to notice it?
It was to notice that it wasn't just a change in the height of the tunnel, but an actual trap. The trap has already been triggered, so you're aware of it.
So I got the shield on my back, so I'll just chance it and go forward.
You'll just skedaddle forward. Excellent. Goblin will make their attack. And still fail miserably. The spear comes down on the back of your shield, on your back and the shield, slides off to the edge harmlessly, and the two of you can skedaddle through here. Sir Walker appears in the next section of the goblin base. A little bit over here, the area begins to open up tall enough that you can stand. Oops, we'll go here and here. But you have a shield of light or whatever, so it's visible all around. You can see that there is a creek or a river or something that runs through the goblin cave just before you. It's not too wide. You could probably hop over it without too much effort. The ceiling here is fairly shallow, maybe 5 feet tall, so you're still gonna have to kind of like hunch to stand. And on the other side of the little creek is a small spiked barricade, kind of sticking out like that, with 3 goblins on the other side, and they have spears. Whoop. And then it kind of comes down to another crawl space behind them. And the last thing I want to note that you see here is the hammer of one of the dwarves that had come in but never come back out, lying on the ground near the creek. The 3 goblins on the other side gibber and jabber at you in their own tongue, spears ready. And we're going to roll initiative.
All right.
Okay.
I'll re-roll because that number's wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm still behind him in the tunnel. I can't attack this round. Can
Yeah, no, once he moves, you can move. You'll have to go after him, but you'll still be in combat.
All right. I'll hold until after he's got
Perfect.
room. Yeah. There we
All
go.
right, so the
I'm at
goblins
10.
will go at 9, 10, and 15.
Did I roll initiative right? I'm on the tracker, right?
I do see you on the tracker, yes.
Yeah. I just
So
don't see
9,
you.
10, and 15. The first goblin will go and hurl its spear at Sir Walker. What is your AC, Sir Walker?
It's like
19, I think. I can't remember.
20, yeah.
It's 20?
20.
All right. Well, the goblin roll a natural 20, so it doesn't actually matter. The spear from the goblin flies with unprecedented accuracy. It's the lucky strike of the goblins. It sails by and strikes you in the cheek, in that unguarded section of your face, because heroes never wear helmets, and hits you for maximum damage, 4 and 4 on the 2d4. So it doesn't just graze your cheek, it like hits you right in that spot where your lower lip and your upper lip meet, and like rips open a hole in your face, like Xerxes in 300 or whatever.
Yeah.
Giving you this like massive, gnarly, bloody face wound. The goblins on the other side cheer in apparent victory. And we go to initiative 10. That's going to be the next goblin, who also hurls a spear your way. This one rolls a 2, and you easily, deftly dodge under the spear. And the next goblin goes at 15, so it's your turn, Sir Walker. The goblins that have thrown spears have picked up spears. They have multiple spears here for this purpose. And they're aiming over the spiky wall.
Yeah, I'm not happy about this. I'm gonna like charge and do like a leap, I guess, at him. I guess I can probably draw my sword at this point. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, easy, yeah.
yeah.
All right, so you got room to run, and then leap down onto the goblins, right?
Yep.
All right,
So
now this is a spiked
pudding.
wall right here. So, just so you know, this is a dangerous maneuver. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it,
Yep.
but you're jumping into spikes. Give me, a strength or a dex check. Your call for your leap.
All right, I'm doing my strength.
Holy crap, you're doing great. You're
Yeah.
going to clear the defenses with ease and go ahead and make me an attack of the goblins at +2 for charging.
All right. So it is this +2.
19 is going to
So
hit.
21, yeah.
21 is going to hit. You're actually going to clear by 10 because the goblins aren't wearing any armor. So you crit a goblin right off the bat.
There we go. And then so it's like it's 2d8 instead of 1d8.
Yes.
It is? Okay.
Oh, you sever the goblin's head from his shoulders before he can bring a spear around to face you. The goblin splatters on the ground, head rolling backwards into the next hidey hole crawl space, as the 2 goblins on either side shriek in surprise and fear. Melchior, you've been holding your action. Now there's room to move.
I'll move forward and also try to leap.
All right, give me your best strength or dex check. Oh god, it's almost far enough, but you instead land in the spears.
Oh. Ow. I got 3 HP, so this should be interesting.
You have 15 AC?
AC, no, 18 AC.
8? Oh, because of your shield, right?
Yeah, I got the shield out when I
Okay.
got out.
So I suppose this will best be resolved as an attack roll against you.
Yeah,
And since it's sort of like a static trap, we'll say it's a d20 +4, which means it only needs a 13 to hit you, which is
Right.
not super great for it. 18 plus 4 is a 22. Oh! That doesn't clear by 5 though, right? That's not a crit. No, it's off by 1 because your AC is 18. Okay.
Well, I didn't spend a round putting my shield on though. So...
Oh my god. You critically throw yourself into the spiked wall. The spiked wall crits you, Miktaki. Oh no.
I just realized I'm doing a cheat.
Oh god. I need to get another D4. 4d4 damage. The Death Cleric is going to fulfill his role.
3 HP.
Oh my god. 4, 8, 12, 14, almost max damage. You throw yourself into the spears. They run through your body and you lie limp and lifeless.
Can my dwarf just be one of the other adventures outside? Can my other character just be one of the ones outside, frankly? I'm flat out dead. Minus
I know.
10.
This isn't the first time this has happened either. We're gonna take a break, everybody. We're gonna come back on the other side with some more shenanigans. See you guys soon.